Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right.
Let's go. 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 Let's go.
That's gonna be the intro.
Yeah.
Just full screen.
Awesome. That's fine.
All right.
Presented by Senior Sign-On. Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's Louisville! It's a dream return!
Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City match preview pod and footy therapy pod with two podcast certified footy therapists. I'm Mario Salazar with my always amazing Lego building partner, Angela Morales, and we've got a special guest, y'all. And if you probably can see her on the screen already, but it's Eva. Woo!
Stopped it early so that you guys don't get copyrighted.
Yeah. We're not going to get the copyright strike.
No.
Don't launch a jock jam. I'm already there.
3 seconds.
Already.
Yeah. You can only pick your favorite 3 seconds of Chuck
Yeah,
James.
exactly. Yeah.
Welcome to the big show.
All right. Well, welcome to our NWSL Season Preview episode. We've been doing a couple of fun things over the off-season. Seasons is less than 30 days away. We are recording, miraculously, an early episode. So we're going to have some time to rest after we record this thing. So you might hear this intro again when you hear the second part of this episode. That's totally fine. Because guess what? We're going to have a brand new intro every single game because there's going to be a game, then we're going to record, then there's going to be a game, then we're going to record.
And it's going to get crazy.
It's going to get crazy.
And we don't have a gigantic international tournament where we have to record 900 episodes till 2 o'clock in the morning and be incredibly delusional. So we get to be kind of normal this season.
Yeah,
that was only
ever.
last year. The Olympics were only a year ago.
Yeah, World Cup was the year before that.
I have aged 30 years since that gold medal match.
I think we all have at this point.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Was the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
The World Cup was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. It's what is time? I don't know. Okay. we are going to be taking an in-depth look, or as about as in-depth as we can get, of all the other teams in the NWSL, what has been happening during their off-season, what it means to us, the good, the bad, the ugly, the who knows. And then we will be doing our deep dive on Angel City in an upcoming episode before the season starts. With all that being said, we are recording this post the first match of the Coachella Valley Invitational, pre the second match of the Coachella Valley Invitational. So we only know what happened in the first one.
Yeah, we're both speaking to you from the past and the future, and also real time. Nobody knows what's going on per usual. Truly.
Again, what is time?
Honestly. But, okay, so first game of the Coachella Valley Invitational. We actually looked like we had something planned.
It looked good.
Dare
I say?
Obviously, it's preseason. Nothing is set in stone. There's always stuff to work on. Things aren't set in stone or anything.
There's a million subs and
more subs than normal. You're trying different things out, but we made sense. And granted, I came in right as the second half was starting because I was out doing yard work with my mom because we have this house now and I just have to consistently be outside. But yeah, we came in and I sat down and I was like, forward motion? What?
Yeah.
Eva was like giving me the lowdown. This is what happened. This is what happened. I'm just like, okay. And then
I like that Eva was just like watching it. She's just yard work, that's you.
Yeah. I had a big
I was
hole.
also
we were
doing
planting plants.
Yeah, I was doing other things. I wasn't just lounging, letting them work. I couldn't tell you what I was doing. I already don't remember, but I was actually doing something.
You were doing charts. That's what you were doing.
Yes, I was doing music stuff, but I agree. We looked good. The ball was moving forward. A lot of players looked like they were ready to start the season.
Had an attempted bicycle kick.
Kennedy Fuller almost had a bicycle kick.
Yeah, I walked in the door and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna make myself some food, and I'm, like we have the TV on. I tilt a little bit so I can see it better from the kitchen. And she's like, oh, by the way, Kennedy Fuller almost had a bike, and I was like, excuse what?
Yeah,
I saw the highlight. I was like, oh, we're gonna have to update our shirt.
I know.
yeah. Time stopped while she was setting it up, and I really thought she had it. But I mean, I love that we went down. Like they were up 1-0 and then we still won. I don't know when the last time we did that was. What's the thing from the Avengers? Don't give me hope where there is none. But I think there's reason to have hope. It gave me hope. I feel good.
Yeah, the young guns in general were showing out. Casey Fair looked good. I didn't get to see Kennedy because they subbed her out at halftime. Scotty Antonucci, who I think is an NRI.
Scotty Antonucci.
If they don't sign her just purely for the name.
Name and vibes. Like, that's it. Honestly. But no, like she looked great. Richie was texting me and he said one player number 73 and we couldn't figure out who she was. And then we found out it was Hannah Johnson. And I kept asking who it was. He was like, it's Hannah Johnson. She's in here forever now. But no, I honestly think for the first preseason go with a lot of upheaval in the offseason, I think they looked all right. We didn't revert back to that weird second half Angel City thing that happens of just, I don't know. We made big subs and then things got a little weird for a second, but nobody panicked. Everybody's like, okay, hold up, reset. We got this. Lily Nabet is a completely different player. I don't know what happened. I'm not upset. She's faster. She's spicier. She was sliding on the ground. She scored. I don't understand it. I'm not mad.
I love when. So the thing when you want everyone on your team to do well. Like when we play Portland, I hope Sophia Smith has, or formerly known as Sophia Smith, is having an off day. I hope that she just, everything for her is just a little bit to the left. I hope nothing is really going according to plan for her. I want all of our players to do well. And for Lily and Abet to show up, kill it, score the equalizer, get us going and everything. Good for her. Good for her. It's good for us. It's good for her. It's good for everyone. And I am very happy for her and very, very excited to. I think we should all be really excited for her to prove us wrong this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, like we said, we're post the first match where everything was sunshine and rainbows out in Coachella Valley. The second match is going to happen this weekend from when we're recording. We've got some emotional Capri Sun because you never know what's going to happen. We looked good. There's times where we look real good and we get really excited in the next game. But hopefully...
I think I said it in one of the earlier preseason episodes. I really feel like we've got a do it for Cap, do it for LA. There's a different energy right now in this city as a whole. And it's transpiring and like feeding itself into sports.
I think it feels, and this is purely speculation based on social media, which is a lie, but it feels like there are good vibes going on, right? We have the new training facility.
Oh, it's
the team feels like they're having fun and they're gelling. Even though there's a interim coach at the moment, there's still a bit of familiarity with the rest of the support staff.
Yeah.
So it's not like everything's just completely brand new. There's just a couple of new ideas with this new head coach or this new interim head coach. And then, there's always the talk about the new coach bounce, right? And that might be what we're looking at right now, but hopefully that's something that carries on into the season, and it's something that we can kind of keep building momentum. And then hopefully it looks also, other things in the positive is that it looks like the front office, at least on the sporting side, is looking to be a bit more in line or have a direction of what they actually want to do. So slotting in a head coach later on in the season may not be that jarring, because they're already building towards a style of play, or at least an idea of play, where they're going to find the right coach that fits that style, rather than here bring in a head coach and then let them but their philosophy is completely different, and then we gotta start from zero again.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting start to the season for Angel City, but we'll talk about that the next time with a different special guest.
Look at me, I sound like I know stuff. I saw both of you give me a look as I was going on that rant. Ooh,
I was just like, yeah, you'll talk about it with a different special guest, a better special guest.
Not better.
My sad trombone was for myself, not for you.
We
just have a different one.
appreciate all our guests equally, because everyone is amazing.
Yes, that's accurate.
Fine.
All right, so let's get into all of this. Without further ado, I will hand it off to these lovely sports brains, and we'll go from there. Let's talk about the NWSL offseason chaos.
Yeah, so we went through it this offseason, and if you are both an NWSL and a W fan, good luck. I'm sorry, we've gone through a lot the last few months. Free agency has been difficult on all of us for different reasons. Yeah, as a Las Vegas Aces fan, Eva has had a very difficult few months, but as a fan of the sport, hell yeah. So let's start with talking about who's retired, because we had a whole bunch of retirements this offseason, which is heartbreaking in a lot of ways. We all had a feeling it was going to happen, and Eva and I made a point to talk about Becky Sauerbrunn when we did our retirement episode, because we knew she wasn't coming back to the national team. We both knew it in our hearts, this was it at Portland. I'm still sad about it. I'm going to be sad about it forever. She's a player I wanted to play forever, but Portland is going to have to really put it together and revamp themselves. They had a bazillion retirements this season. Becky, I don't care. There's other people probably, but those two alone have been such stalwarts for Portland that okay, have fun rebuilding your whole entire philosophy and leadership team. Carrie Lawrence, who was with Orlando, also retired, but she has a super cool role with FIFA now. It's in player development. We were talking about last night. Now I can't think about.
I think she's with an agency.
Oh yeah, but she's the liaison to FIFA, and she's
something
doing all this cool,
that.
Yeah, it's a super cool role, and I was like, dang, I want to do that, but here I am with a podcast. Jen Beatty, who we all know is living her best life with Kriegs, just traveling, doing cool shit, commentating, and more power to her. Yeah. Desiree Scott, who was with Kansas City this last run, also stepped away, and she is an incredibly gritty defensive player who will be missed on the pitch. What a force. This tiny little human, kind of like Jasmine Spencer in that sense of so small, so gritty. There's just a different vibe. We saw Katie Johnson, who had been with us, our K-Jo. She stepped away from the game. It was time. Injuries had kind of built up, and it just sucks. Nobody wants to walk away on an injury. We're not going to talk about it. I already cried about sports 3 different times. Today, I'm not going to do it tonight. Michelle Betos, who was a keeper with just a great keeper, a great career. She's retiring. All these people who've done really cool things are retired. I talked about her every single time I could, but Nicole Barnhart also stepping away, which is a huge end of an era in goalkeeper land. And she's a keeper that I feel doesn't get talked about as much as others did or do, which is wild to me given the national team tenure and the leadership she's given teams just kind of quietly as she's moved around the league. But yeah, we also had some huge players leave the league. Obviously, we talked about Naomi Girma heading to Chelsea. Jenna Neiswanger heads to Arsenal. to join Emily Fox, who scored a banger of a goal this last weekend from outside the box. It was Star Spangled Banger. That's what they called it.
Star Spangled Screamer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was just it was outside the box. She was literally in midfield, and we're just like, wow. And yeah, Crystal Dunn left Gotham and went to PSG, which is a whole thing. I have theories. I'm not going to get into them because it's all hearsay and me pretending, and we're just going to leave it there. But yeah, we had a few players leave for the Canadian League. Jasmine Spencer, Quinn, and Nikki Stanton being the players. I'm glad they all landed somewhere. I had a feeling Quinn would leave, given the state of things in this country, and also having a league in Canada. Yeah, we have these for reasons. Mm-hmm. But yeah. But yeah, there's been a lot of movement that we'll talk about a little bit more as we get through the team breakdowns. But yeah, that's a big overview of holy shit, everything's different. Most teams across the league are going to look different. There are very few that have similar rosters. Your starters might be similar, but your bench is going to be completely different. And a lot of times, so will your starting lineups. I mean, for Angel City, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, there's been quite some movement with Angel City too. So, I mean, we'll touch on a couple of them as we're talking about the NWSL. And with all of, I mean, I was even surprised by the number of extra retirements that happened in the off season, which means we didn't get to talk about them in our retirement retrospective.
Yeah.
Which means we might need a 2.5 of that. And, you know, there is a couple breaks during the season. You know, maybe we can hit up one of those and have a really nice,
I would
give,
I think that's
give each one of these players their flowers of what they've done for the league. Okay, so as we've talked all of that, let's get into our outlook. Let's start in the East with the Chicago Stars.
The Red Stars, got it.
The Red Stars.
I refuse because I've said it
Why?
before, I'll say it again. The Red Stars are part of Chicago everything. The Red Stars are on the flag. It's not just stars for no reason. I'm about to tag in our mutual friend, Randy, who actually introduced us to like come in here and talk about Chicago because she will soapbox hard for that city. She lived there for a long time. She worked for the Tribune. I don't even know if she knows about this because she doesn't really follow sports like that, but like she'd probably be so mad that they rebranded like this.
Insert Chicago snippet of stuff here.
I'm gonna text Randy tomorrow. Be like, please send me details about this. But they've made some moves. They got what's her face, Maytan from Gotham, and that's a huge signing. I almost said Malpew. Mal Swanson has been out of the preseason for personal reasons. I hope she's okay. Like there hasn't been a lot of information about that. She hasn't been with the national team. She hasn't been with the Stars. Who knows? I just hope she's okay. That's about it. I think they're going to be a problem because they're kind of middle of the table problems especially for Angel City.
A lot of what was happening. Well, no, I'm thinking of the wrong team. Okay, let's keep going.
Gotham had a ton of movement. I don't have much to say about Chicago. Let me just rewind real quick because I feel like they just held steady. They kept a lot of their same players. They didn't really have much changing front office wise. I think because of the sale last season, they already went through a lot of upheaval. You kind of keep it the same and coast, get used to everything, and then start making changes. We'll probably see a lot of shifting going on trade window or next season, I think, for them, depending on how the first half of the season goes. But let's go Gotham. Dun dun dun. The coast to coast rivalry that people are starting to try to make happen. I don't care. I don't think anybody cares. I don't know.
Well, our rival is Boss Nation. I read the
everybody's
website.
rival is Boss Nation.
I saw on the website we are listed as their rival, so if it's on the internet, it's true.
Yeah, Balls FC
Boss Nation
can come get it.
Balls FC just put a target on themselves from everybody just to be like, that's
There's just going to be
stupid.
tons of
No.
signs in every stadium that just say more balls or just jokes. It's just going to be bad.
Well,
And I
yeah,
feel for the
I can't wait.
players.
It's not hungry hippos. They have too many balls. So
Yeah.
it's something
I
they gotta
can't-
give.
I can't wait till see Tifos this or
Oh,
when
next
they
season?
come into the league. Yeah. Tifos
It's gonna be so good.
for Boss Nation. It's gonna be so good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We're moving on to Gotham.
Yes. Gotham had big things. Lots of movement, lots of shocking movement, lots of rumors, lots of everything in the news. There was a lot of Gotham news. So I mentioned earlier the biggest loss, notary wise, is probably Crystal Dunn. She kind of went MIA mid-season last year. Nobody really knew why or what was going on, and then she signed with PSG after being waived. There's just a lot of nobody really knows what happened with that, and I don't think we'll ever really know. But if anybody who does know wants to share, I'm really good at keeping secrets. Like I said, I'm down for the drama, just not my own. Well, they lost Crystal Dunn. They picked up Jalen Howell, who can kind of fill a similar slot, which is a huge pickup. And I know, Eva, you thoroughly appreciate Jalen Howell, probably more than most people, just given her history. That sounded mean, and I didn't mean for it to sound mean.
No. I think she's great. I think, it's interesting as the years go by, seeing how the first pick, like the first draft picks do and how they go.
Mhm.
And she seems to be like still kind of on the fringes.
Yeah.
I think she's great. I think I would love to see her play her way back to the national team. I think that with Gotham, she has a really exciting chance to step out of being, a rookie or a younger player and have, now she has a little bit more experience. She's played on, a couple or two teams now. I think this will be her third team. So I think this gives her a chance to just kind of wipe the slate, start over, and, just remind everyone why she was the first pick. I'm excited to see what she does with them. I think that overall Gotham really is going to want to come out and, kind of quiet down the noise by playing well. So I think they're going to have a huge chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. Gotham's going to be a problem.
Well put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, Jenna Neiswanger went to Arsenal. They re-signed Midge Purse after what felt like 100 years of off-season moves and free agency. We finally got the notice that Midge re-signed at Gotham. I hope she's healthy. Honestly, I hope she has a great season, except when we play Gotham, because I don't want to deal with that. They had goalie movement. There was just a lot of movement for Gotham as a whole. Lynn left.
I want to say so there's the rumor mill about Gotham and culture and whatnot. But I think the other part of these big moves is ACFC got hit with a big ass fine because of violations, right? And then they announced that they will be keeping tabs on everybody. Now, why couldn't you keep tabs like that actual season? Oh yeah, no, we'll give everybody a season before we start keeping tabs. Fuck you. So with that, a lot of these moves took a lot of these heavy hitters off the books. Now, were there other reasons that were helping along these moves? Probably, but there's also that aspect of it. And who knows? But if other sporting leagues are any indication of how things go, they can always get dinged for past money infringement.
His salary cap issue.
Yes.
Yeah, but I really feel like Gotham is coming to win. They've made a lot of roster changes in that direction. They still have Emily Sonnet. They still have Roosevelt. They still have an insane team. They did lose Yasmin Ryan, which is bonkers. That'll come later, though. But yeah, I think they're going to be a tough team regardless. They're not a team that loses their identity when they play another team. A lot of times, and this kind of happens across sport, you play to the level of your opponent. You could be a top tier team, like best in league, best everything, and then you play the team that's last, and you shift.
That was us. That was
Yes.
we
100%. We play up, but we also play down. And Gotham doesn't do that. Gotham just plays their game. And that's scary because that means you have to conform to their system or run through it. You don't have the option to really manipulate it and play with it and mess it up for them when a team comes out so assertive. Same thing goes for basketball, baseball, football, as we saw in the Super Bowl. Which leads me to talking about Kansas City. Yay!
Look at that.
Go
segue.
Bird. That's all I'm going to say about that. I was specifically
Second place, say what?
I was specifically cheering for Philly for Doug, who is a listener of the podcast, a good friend, but also I was actively cheering against specific people on another team because
Mahomes.
of their actions. Yeah.
Mahomes.
Or their wives' actions.
I don't have
actually.
to cough. I didn't have a cough.
Vodka, excuse me.
Yeah, I've got issue with some folks in Kansas City, but their soccer team is great, which is cool. Players are fantastic. They also made crazy moves. They picked up Laurel Ivory. They picked up Rocky, which they re-signed Temo Chawinga. In our notes, it just wrote they're going to be insane. That's it. That's all. They are exactly who we thought they were going to be last season, with Vlotko returning to Club Vlotko form.
Yeah. They have a new GM. Yeah, they're one of the many teams, actually. As I was putting this list together, there was quite a few teams that all have new GMs.
A lot of front office movement this season.
Right. Yeah, all of that. And then there was a couple of notes that I was like, oh, Beatrice Zhao was a recent signing and then went almost immediately in SEI. It sucks for her. And then I'm gonna need help on this one, but Opeyemi,
Ajake, I'm guessing.
Ajake?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was looking at the history of this, was like she got signed, then immediately loaned out to the USL in November, then brought back from the USL, and then was released in January. So
yeah, weird moves. Probably salary cap, honestly.
There's a lot of their team kind of made some like moves and stuff like that, but I think they're still scary.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure. Their team is so good, and they didn't have to make a lot of moves, and yet they did. They just got themselves better, which, again, forever mad about Rocky and what we did to Rocky's season, but that's what happens when you F around and find out. We're in the finding out phase. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Kansas City. They're going to be good. Get ready for it. There will probably be more. What are they calling the balls in the river? Oh shoot, they have a name.
Is it river balls?
No,
too many.
No, I really
thought
it was. I really thought it was river balls.
No, I don't know. It had a name, I thought, but if anybody remembers when you listen, please DM me, because it's gonna piss me off until somebody tells me. That's it. That's all I got for Kansas City. They're good. Their stadium's too small for how good they are and for how many people come to games, but that's
that part.
Neither here nor there.
That part.
They can put an upper bowl on it and just set it on like Legos.
Just imagine if they had just built a bigger stadium from the get-go, and then we wouldn't even have to like make fun of them for it. Like,
yeah,
they chose that
stadium.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
I think it's just called river balls.
Really?
Yeah, or like a river goal. That's what they're.
Oh, anyway, I thought it had a cool name.
Quick Google
If it
search.
doesn't, Kansas City, give it a cool name. Yeah.
Okay, and now we're on to North Carolina Courage.
So we're recording this on Tuesday the 18th. Like we said, we're recording this early because we're ahead of schedule. Shocking. And that's cool. We got news today that Bianca St. George's and the team mutually parted ways, which That's fine. Usually it just means that you can't come to a salary agreement, you can't come to some contract terms, or the player's not happy with the team, so that's fine. Whatever. Eva and I are speculating that she's going to go to Canada in the Canadian League, because she is Canadian. She plays on the national team. Because of her statements and actions and thoughts that have been made public, I hope we don't bring her to LA. That's all. That's all I have to say about her. It's one of those where it's no offense, but all the offense, that kind of thing. But but North Carolina, again, that's a team that is just inherently good. At this point, they've won championships. They have a very winning culture in North Carolina. It is a soccer hub collegiately. They picked up Jalen Shaw from San Diego, which is mega huge. They didn't have to make too many moves. It's one of those. They're always a contender because they're always good.
When you add Jaden Shaw, it's similar to Seattle adding Lynn. Like, when you add a player of that caliber, you can kind of take a breath, and if your team is already in a good place, it's okay, now we're like, this might work itself out.
Yeah. And for those who aren't sure who else is on the team, if you are a Day One Angel City fan, Danny Weatherholt is there, Tyler Lucy is there. So there's a lot of players who have been around the league, who have spent time in different cities and just are doing great. North Carolina is just one of those teams. Every sport has them, just the teams that are just good. And that's North Carolina.
Yeah, they're just always going to be a contender. They're always going to be in the mix. Even their down seasons, they still like end up making the playoffs and everything. Like,
yeah, they're above,
like
their down seasons are like still above 500.
Yeah, and Sean Nahas seems to have done a really good job of turning the culture around there and, you know, picking up the pieces from the Paul Riley of it all. And it seems like he's been able to preserve the winning aspect of things without having to keep any of the terrible things that were happening there. So I think that they're just kind of always in a good position to, you know, come out and just kill it.
All right. Well, then we've got the defending champions, Orlando Pride, who looks like, I mean, from my point of view, really just have become better.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, Marta's back for 2 more years. I'm so happy. I'm still mad about that announcement video because my heart sank, and then it was like, hello, JK. And she's just with a big brimmed hat and everything. It's all dark, sad. And then she's like, just kidding, guys. But I'm so happy for her. She is her in like the best way. Marta is Marta, and any team's going to be better with her on it. But they have this really cool mix of veterans who have kind of flown under the radar, like Morgan Gautreau. Old school folks know her as Mo Bryan, and she's one of the last, right? One of the last 15ers? Yeah.
It's her. Yeah, one of the last 15ers. It's her and Alyssa Nair, and if Megan Klingenberg resigns or signs with someone, it's another thing we'll talk about later. But I think it's just the two of them.
Yeah. But Mo Bryan, Morgan Gautreau, now that she was her full name and her married last name, she has had an injury-riddled career, but she is insane. And she showed up so big for Orlando towards the end of the season and into the postseason, where it was like, oh, there she is. That's right. You've got Carson Pickett. You've got Barbara Bondo. This team is so good. And they just were like, oh, hey, let's get better. And then Emily Sams is having a hell of a moment. She's getting called up. She's getting accolades. She's just having a great couple of years. And it really only seemed like they just added. There's only... Well, 2 players that they have went on SEI. Rafael Souza at the end of the year, and then Amanda Allen was like during this offseason, I believe. And then only 2 players have
left. Like I didn't see. I mean,
And
I did
one
my
was
best to
retirement.
try to.
Carrie Lawrence
I did my
retired.
best to trip one.
Two.
Oh,
Two retires. Megan Monefusco.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, they didn't show up for me, or maybe I just had them in the wrong spot. But there you go. They didn't have much, and then
She was on the SEI
Yeah.
this last season. Yeah. A lot of SEI retirements, which sucks. But
it's a sucky way to kind of be forced retired, but yeah, we get it. They're good. You know what? Let them be at the top again, but this is Merga and we have a playoff system, so
They
can be good all year if they want to. This is Merca and we have playoffs. And because that's the American way to do it, and so they can be good all year if they want. We can be.
Don't challenge them. They said we were going to win it all, and then they did easily.
Wait, maybe I'm going to regret asking this while it's recording, but are we the only country that does playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Other leagues have relegation and then Champions Leagues. It's all regular season champs go to Champion League.
Right, but what do they call it then? Like, how do they whittle down?
You
It's
don't.
just
You're the best of the season. Like just best of the season gets the trophy, which we call the supporter shield.
You're going to have to go get another Capri Sun.
I should have kept my mouth shut. I just outed myself as an American.
Playoffs are inherently American. It's wild.
I had no idea. I knew that trades were, but I did not know. I think I assumed there was some. Anyway.
The more you know. Yeah, put in the more you know gif right there, please.
Will do.
Yeah.
All right. Now we've got two more teams to wrap up the East. We have Racing Louisville.
So Louisville didn't do anything too loud in the offseason. They just kind of made some smaller moves, re-signed some folks. They have a new GM as well, so I think that's part of it. We might see more stuff happening closer to the trade deadline and like mid-season stuff. But they're a team that's, again, always a contender. They're feisty and they're gritty and they show up. That's Louisville.
Yeah, I thought they started. I think if they can build on what they did last year, which ideally theoretically they should, because it's pretty much the same roster. But I think they're like kind of right on the cusp of hitting their real potential, and I think Bevianas is just doing a great job, and she's been. It's just been such a joy to watch her succeed as a head coach and see things go well, and I will go on record saying that they're making the playoffs this year for the first time.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do it.
Really? They haven't made it yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. They had early culture problems, and I know it's so hard to believe in the NWSL that a team could have had issues with coaching staffs and everything. But it seems
that's kind of unheard of.
I know it's so rare in this league. We're all still in shock. That's why no one really talks about it, because we're like, in our league, what? But I think that Bev has done just a tremendous job of making it a place that players want to play
and want to stay.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have a really big year.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just hope they don't have a light show. That's all.
Yeah, and I hope that
for years.
Oh, the light show.
The light show.
And I hope that their year isn't bigger than ours.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, last but not least, in the East, we've got the Washington Spirit.
So they're another team with big winning culture. And they've got big money behind their winning culture now.
I mean, they've got...
not even... Like, they got bigger money than Bob Iger. They got Michelle money, and we don't know how much money she has. She owns 3 teams, and that's a lot. You own 3 teams in 3 different leagues.
Do we think she has more money than Bob Iger?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking. I'm posing the question. I have no idea.
I don't
Yes.
know. I think she's got scary quiet money. Like
Yeah.
she's got 3 teams money, but Bob Iger has head of Disney money.
yeah, but that's different.
I'm gonna go with Ange here and say she's got that like.
Remember when we
she's
saw
got
her at
that,
the
like-
draft and she didn't touch the ground?
She just has a rich aura that Bob Iger doesn't. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
She's got that. I'm so rich, I don't have to tell you I'm rich, right?
Yeah.
No.
She and I would have nothing to talk about. She would be like, even in 10 minutes of my life, I have never had as little money as you do. I have no idea what it's like to not have $1,000 ever.
Yeah, she's different. Different.
But she's also headstrong and determined to be like, look, this is legit product. This is legit everything. This is sport. This is not women's sport. This is sport. And we're going to invest and we're going to do shit. We're going to make things big. We're going to go loud. We're going to do all of that.
We're going female
we're going
athletes
to study
as their own entity, which is huge.
Yes.
Huge. Until this season, I'm also curious to see how the Spirit does injury-wise this season because Dawn Scott is not working with the team this season. It was the first season since Michelle Kane came in. Dawn Scott is the ex-national team player. She broke the code of how to help and how to foster women in sport, tracking how hormones change your productivity and your ability to run and your speed and your decision making and how your menstrual cycle impacts your ability to play and down to cellular levels of how to eat. You eat this thing on this one day because your hormones are here, then that means you can do X amount of this. It's the science behind what Dawn Scott did for the national team and then for the Spirit, bonkers. Absolutely insane. But the team itself is still very good. They had a lot of front office movement last season outside of the team. They had a lot of like ticket sales, the player or not player, the membership reps. A lot of community was messy last season. So I'm curious how they have or how they are going to rebuild a lot of those relationships for their supporters still, because there's a lot of people that are like, nah, pass. There's a lot of bridges burnt. So I'm hoping that the team figures some stuff out. They get folks back in the stadium because the team is good. So they also have Trinity Rodman, which insane. She I can't even talk. She's just that good. She's fun to watch. She's played through injury and fatigue and all this. She's still so youthful in how she plays. She plays with a different type of energy that I don't know how to explain. It's just, she just plays. This is what it is. It's the way I was describing Unrivaled earlier tonight. There are people who play basketball and there are people who hoop. There are people who play organized soccer and there's people who play pickup. Like, she plays like she played on a random grass circle with 6 other kids for her whole life. It's the kind of thing of it's inherent in her. It's not, oh, I learned this through a system and I learned these plays and I had to learn the game. She just plays with natural ability and is also incredibly skilled. It's one of those, she has the IQ that's not organized sports. It's, oh, I see the pitch and I can go here and I can go there.
Yeah, the creativity is off Tobin Heath levels, off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, they're all going to be, I think they're all still pissed off about how they feel the championship game went. So that's going to be a big thing to watch. I think they're going to come out swinging.
Yeah. But yeah, they have a winning culture there. They're used to being good. Teams that are used to being good and have a history of winning don't magically just suck. Big things have to happen for that to start happening. They're fine. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be a problem. They're gonna disrupt teams. But that's what good teams do.
All right. So far, you have not put any confidence in me from the whole East. The whole East is just the East is good.
This league is good. It's the league as a whole.
It's the league. Yeah.
It's the league. It's not one specific team or West Coast team.
Keyword of the day: parody.
Anyone can win at any time. It's the best. It's the best and the worst thing about the league.
Yeah.
Oh, on any given Friday, Saturday, Sunday, possibly a Monday, sometimes a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe a Thursday or a Tuesday if it's too hot, and they don't let you play on
Makeup
Saturday.
game.
They don't want a player to pass out again, so they push the game.
I think we only have like 3 midweek games.
Good.
That like not counting like a Friday, but like a Monday to a Wednesday kind of game. Yeah. So they did better with the schedule this year, but
That's true.
Still.
It's so complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're moving on to the West, and
West Coast, West Coast.
Yep. But, as we talked about in the East, they're good. I mean, is it going to be any different? The league's good. So let's keep going. Let's start with our up north, Bay FC.
So what the whole entire heck? The Bay FC is, I feel like they have really bad vibes right now, but they've got a team. It's not that they're not good. They're just new. They came out hot last season, and then it was like, oh, right. They haven't figured out all the things yet. But
they did not draw at all last season.
No.
That's a
It
nine.
was
or
either a
lose,
win
no jazz.
or a loss. There was no draws at all last season.
Dang.
Yeah, it was wild. But they picked up a 3-time All-American. We stole Savvy King from them, which, woohoo, that's going to be super fun. They released Dana Castellanos. There's a mutual parting of the ways with Alex Loera. There's been a lot of weird stuff. But they have Rachel Kundananji. They have someone else that they signed that I can't remember. That's good. They have a team. They have a very good team that was already there. I don't know. This is a team where I don't think they're good. I don't think they're bad. I genuinely don't know what is going to be on the pitch, because I was getting intel from folks who were at Coachella. And they looked a little off. They looked like they didn't exactly show up to the preseason fully formed, like a fully fledged.
It's a long drive from the Bay Area down to Coachella.
Yeah, it's
maybe they need a little
Coachella.
more time to stretch.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very curious how Bay is going to work this year. Very curious. Because there's just been a lot.
Yeah, I think a full season of Abby Dahlkemper for them is going to be huge.
Oh, I forgot they had Abby D.
Yeah, and her and any team with Caprice Didasco has at least one baller. I think they have the players. They just have to, figure it all out.
Yeah, kind of like us, except they did better they did better than
They
that.
had a better head start at figuring it out, but then that little drawing they had on their Etch-a-Sketch got full on shaken and erased 5-6 games in. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. All right. Well, so we just don't know. They're a little more of a question mark as we're going through the season. Now we've got the Houston Dash.
Okay, I have so many questions because I want to know who was the decision maker in all of their offseason moves. Because if it was Angela Hughley's-Mangano, why couldn't she do that for Angel City? That's what my question is. This is all gas, no brakes.
I would say that these moves feel like they were things that were already being put in place before she got there, and
but
maybe
they also
some of them
have a new GM.
finished?
They have a new GM. The ownership group is there's so much changing in their front office. That's what I learned from our folks at Noodle Time, that they're like, oh no, we've got this. They're handling the teams differently than they have before. So I don't know who did what. I don't know. I think some of the moves happened, but I don't know. I would like to know some things that, again, I will not find out. So if anybody wants to tell me, like I said, I'm good at keeping secrets. They signed Marvin Gautreau's husband works for this team. Again, everything is just good. Everything's kind of Houston, and I don't like it because I'm not a fan of Texas. But they got Adley Smith, who's one of the backup keepers at Gotham. They picked up Kristen Westphal from San Diego, which I want to say is in a relationship with Pogarsh, who used to play in San Diego, but is now in Utah. So I have mad respect for folks who are in different states and cities. It was hard enough when Eva and I were on opposite ends of LA, but like Utah to Houston, that's 7 countries away. Like, that's a far distance. So I hope they're good. Mad respect for that.
I mean, different parts of LA that feels like driving countries away sometimes too.
Yeah, honestly.
The sun will have moved so far by the time you get from one end to the other that it feels like
I missed 4 hours of driving just to go to work and go home.
Today was insane. Just remind me just never to go into work after a holiday. Like
just don't go into work.
Yeah.
Don't use the additive.
Yeah, no,
just don't go.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna go in today.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Please no.
I mean, the Yankees did it in the World Series, and look how that turned out. So I think you'd do just fine.
Womp womp.
I'm wearing the black hat because I'm still grieving.
They also picked up Danielle Colaprico, Messiah Bright, which that's going to bite us in the ass. And they also picked up Yasmin Ryan, who played in college with Messiah. And damn it, all gas, no brakes. We know Paige is there. We know their defense is good. Tarsian, I don't like it.
This is the most promising they've looked in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. I'm happy for the fans. So
which I'm happy for them because they were having a really, really bad time. You know, it's one of those things where we've talked about it, ride or die. We're diehards here for Angel City. We're gonna be there through thick and thin, but not all fans are that way. There are some fair weather fans, and if you don't have a good and you know, Angel City's probably already dealing with some of that too. If you don't have a good product on the field, this is LA. There's so many other things that instead of going to the stadium to a game, you can take your family to the Natural History Museum. It's you know,
it's right there. Like
you should do both. Like Porque no los dos.
Yeah. No, you got to get a membership to the museum, and then you just go for free and eat lunch there before you go.
It's great. The food is really good there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Butterfly Pavilion, Spider Pavilion.
Yeah, they have all the gems, and there's a wall that I always almost walk into because it's black and it's so shiny. And it's like a gem room.
It looks like the room goes on.
Yeah, like you feel like you're in Ocean's 11.
There's a new dinosaur there. Definitely spend your time at the museum at Expo Park.
Yeah. There's a P22 mini exhibit.
Yeah.
They've got everything.
There's the California Science Center. You can go there and do a bunch of stuff. And
the one is going to eventually be open sometime.
Yeah, you can no longer see the shuttle yet, but you can. But it's on its way. It's standing up now.
Mm-hmm.
It's fully this way now. It used to be like that. Now it's like
vertical.
I was going to use a different word, but then I was like, no, I was going to get the I was going to get the
wow, Mario.
Yeah.
Boing. I was enjoying watching you search for something different.
That was great.
Too many balls. All right. Okay, where did we leave off? Oh, okay, Houston having a really good Yeah.
Good off-season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of space shuttles, Houston, right?
Space
See,
Race.
that I wasn't going on a tangent.
No, we were
All
you.
right.
Yeah. we were just like, museum.
All right,
Learning
now
and learning is great, and you should do it.
Yes.
And you should always keep learning, because then you end up dumb, and that's
And
dumb.
having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card.
That part.
boom.
Boom.
Also, support LAPL. That's what's up.
Queer Liberation
Leo.
Library, free on Libby.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a remote library. In case anybody wants it. In case you were wondering, we're big old nerds in this house. We read a lot. We listen to audiobooks.
Yeah. The podcast is now
yeah.
podcast is now going by Tangent FC.
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
to try to reel us back in, we're going to talk about our friends down south who sometimes don't know which way they're running.
Are they our
And
friends?
it's sent
Well, given that
frenemies.
half our team is there, so
You were so confident there. I was like, I don't think they
San
like
Diego Wave.
What a disaster.
Yeah.
What a mess.
yeah. So the way so much has happened.
They waved goodbye to a lot of people.
They did. They waved goodbye to Naomi Girma. They waved goodbye to Emily Van Egmond, who got married in the offseason. Yay! They waved goodbye to Alex Morgan. And they waved goodbye to a bunch of their front office, because now they're all suing them. I don't know what's going on in San Diego. They waved goodbye to Casey Stoney, which, still a weird decision. I'm really happy that she landed with the national team,
Canada.
because she's wonderful. And I don't think she's pro spying on other teams. There's that. Yeah, they.
She doesn't even like drones.
Shouldn't even go here. I just don't know what to expect out of San Diego, because they're in a rebuilding phase for a variety of reasons. New coaching, honestly, half their team left. Jaden Shaw left. I don't know. Becky's an assistant coach there, Becky Tweed. That'll be interesting to see. Again, I mentioned it earlier this season when we saw her in a millisecond of a clip in a video. I'm really happy a female coach was picked up again after having a not great tenure somewhere. Same with Freya, because it is so rare across sport that female coaches get a second chance, get a third chance, get any chances aside from the one stint at head coach that you saw them for half a season and they couldn't do anything and it was weird. But I'm really curious how the wave functioned through this season and how the impact of the lawsuits trickles down to the team and how much they're impacted by that, because a lot is going on for them. I made a joke to a friend of ours that maybe that transfer fee from Naomi Girma is going to just go pay out part of the lawsuit. Because what? Yeah. Yeah. I was like, ooh, a millie could handle a couple of them at least. But
It's still not enough. But
No.
I don't know. I hope for the players who are there, for those in the FO, I hope it's okay. I hope things level out. I don't have confidence given what seems like from the outside and from what I know from folks on the inside, given what we've heard, given what we've learned about what's been happening in the front office. The players have a players association. They have a union. They have folks who go to battle for them. Employees don't. Like, team employees don't. And that's where things are getting hairy. So I hope this starts pushing towards a better era for their front office and their employees, because nobody deserves to work for shitty employers. As somebody who's had to work for a couple, harassment at work sucks. Yeah. When the labor board tells you could sue, it is not enjoyable. You're like, oh, okay, so that was as bad as I thought it was. Cool. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. Dee Dee's there now. I don't know. I'm just curious what's going to happen down there. We'll see.
Well, we'll see when they, when they run up the 5. And
we'll see him on opening day.
Yeah, we'll see him on opening day. There you go. Okay, so now moving on to, we're going to go into the Pacific Northwest, and we'll start with Portland.
Yeah, so they've got, from everything I am assuming, Bella Bixby back from maternity leave. She was at Coachella. They signed Dana Castellanos from Bay. They have a new GM. They signed Sam Hyatt. They signed Dana Castellanos from Bay. There's a lot of movement in Portland. But again, they lost a lot of players over the last couple seasons from retirement trades. Free agency really kind of blew up the Portland legacy, I think. Megan Klingenberg left the team. Hasn't been re-signed. Better be re-signed somewhere. This is not how we say goodbye to Kling. I think she's got another year or two in her. Yeah, I will riot for Megan Klingenberg.
Yeah, I was shocked to see, even just from a leadership standpoint, you're losing Singh, you're losing Becky Sauerbrunn. It felt like a weird time to let go of her, but I mean, they can do that.
Yeah, new direction, new old things, but justice for Kling.
Yeah, they're pretty different this year, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our current interim head coach was in Portland, right?
No, Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Sam Lady had been in Seattle.
That's the next team we're going to be talking about is Seattle.
So Seattle made big moves in the offseason. Re-signed Jess Fishlock, waived Sarah King, which also, has she been re-signed? No. Again, justice. I understand that at some point teams kind of have to move on or change the system or blah blah blah, but that's a player I would want to retain for a variety of reasons. And a lot of it is that she kind of plays under the radar. She scored on us last season and it was a banger, and I was so mad because I like her so much. Same with Fishlock scored on us the season before, and I was so mad because she was so good. It was one of those why us kind of moments. Like you could do this every other game, but they picked out Maddie Curry in the offseason, which is still sad about. But their big signing was Lynn Williams, Lynn
Biyendolo.
There's so many new last. Thank you.
Biyendolo.
So many new last names, and I'm so happy for her because she looked like she's just pumped. Richie was at Coachella and texting me going, Seattle's a problem. And I was like, great. Super. Love that. Yeah, they also picked up one of Gotham's backup keepers. This is a new team. This is a new Seattle. Again, Pino retired. They're coming for blood for those last few. Fishlock, Lou Barnes. Sarah King should be there, but whatever. I think they're going to be frightening, frankly. The Lynn Williams of it all. Alone.
Yeah, I think when she signed with Gotham, I think Allie Krieger was like, your team gets 100% better when you add Lynn Williams. Now Lynn Biyendolo. So I think they've been like kind of missing an edge the last year or two. They've been missing that scores when she wants player. Yeah. And like if you need that player who better, you can't.
It's Lynn.
You can't do that much better. And I think
she was the fastest in the league for a couple years running. Like,
she was the fastest in all of U.S. soccer, men's and women's.
Yeah.
She's nuts.
She's Lynn. That's it.
All right, you're not giving me too much confidence going into
this
the
league
season.
Is good. That's it.
Parody.
Touch on Angel City. But yeah, that's why the NWSL is going through this weird thing of really good players are leaving to go get more money, but at the same time, really good people are coming to get the parity. Because the second you leave the NWSL, you're going into leagues where you've got teams that have gazillions of dollars, just buckets of money, and then teams that have $10. It's a lot. It's just a different environment because you have to figure out how you're going to play. You're at Chelsea. If you're Naomi Gurman, you're at Chelsea, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm playing with the best of the best, but you're playing against teams that aren't necessarily in the same caliber. You're used to playing in a specific environment, and then you have to adjust your game to maintain through the mental process of playing a team that's not as good and not on the same level as you, or you're playing in a stadium that's a high school gym, just a beat up kind of thing, and then you go play at Wembley. It's insane. I don't want to say lack of parity, but like the distance between top tier and teams that are closer to relegation in other leagues. Yeah. It goes the same in the Italian leagues, in Spanish leagues, like all over the world. You have teams that are so good because they have buckets of money.
Yeah, they're the juggernauts. You have the ones that are going to be winning every single year, like without a question. Like there's no question. In our league,
there's question.
You never know. You never know.
You had Orlando and Gotham win the last 2 championships, and the years before that, they were bottom of the barrel. That in a split second, it's a different league. And this season, it is a different league.
I still wish we had Pro Rel. There was a way we can do it with
we'll get
USL,
there.
But that's
we need
that's
development
a whole nother
leagues,
thing.
though.
Yes. Well, I mean, but that would encourage development. Okay, whole nother thing. We can talk about that in a different episode.
We'll get rich, and then we'll buy the league, and then we'll redo it.
All right. Last team in the West, the Utah Royals.
Yeah, another big I'm curious how the season goes for them. For a variety of reasons, again. Yeah. They're going to have a new head coach. They have lots of players coming and going. They picked up Alex Lawera. I really hope she's comfortable there. I have so many questions for folks who are playing in Utah who don't fit the Utah stereotype of very white, very conservative, very heterosexual, because I'm concerned for their safety. Like, same thing in Houston, but at least Houston is a bigger city. I have concerns, but I have concerns about their freaking rosters, or not roster, jersey sponsors. Like, there's so many questions I have about Utah Royals as a whole right now. I'm curious how the season goes for them. They have a great team. Like I said, Pogarsh is there. Paige Moynihan is there. Alex Lawera is a huge pickup.
Sentner.
Oh, yeah. Ali Sentner, who's the star.
The final top draft pick ever.
And we were there. Yeah, it's just an interesting conundrum that the Utah Royals are in, because they have the pieces, but they don't necessarily have the system for the pieces to fit in yet. But they also need a few more pieces, I think.
Also, rumor mill stuff there in terms of culture. I think they have a lot of work to do on and off the field this season.
But honestly, at some point, when I feel comfortable going on a plane or something, traveling, I want to go to their stadium for the view alone.
It's beautiful.
The view that you see, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's in general. I've said it before here. Utah's beautiful.
The view is as good as you want it to be. Like,
you've been there, right?
Yeah, I went in their inaugural season. I think it was the season that North Carolina was undefeated, and then Brittany Ratcliffe scored on them and ruined the undefeated thing. But that's a whole other podcast episode. But yeah, I've been there. The stadium's great. And yeah, I mean, it's beautiful there. So if you put that in a vacuum, it's like a very desirable place to play, I would think. It's the everything else that is an issue, if you will.
It's the reality of life.
Yeah. And one of their players, Mia Justice, or Hustis, I don't know how to say her last name. I should have texted Allie and M from Soccer Moms. They know her. Like, they were at her announcement party and everything when she announced that she got picked up by Utah. Yay!
That's
yeah,
cool.
friend of a friend,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And she was super pumped. Her family was there. It was one of those where they were telling me about it. Oh my God, it's so cool. That was on the podcast that got messed up. The audio got jacked up. So, we talked about it.
I was going to ask you. That never came out, but...
Yeah, the audio got super messed up and Allie couldn't separate. We were like, it was like tripled on top of each other. All the mics recorded everything. It was not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm curious how the season's going to go for them. We'll see. I hope everyone has a decent season, but I hope our season's better.
Yes.
Those are my thoughts.
I'm hoping our season is better. Tempered of a better season. Not saying like undefeated season, but
I'd
also
like
let's get above
a season
500.
over 500.
I was going to say,
That's
I would love a season where every team is at least 500.
Can that happen? Well, yeah, because then half the
That
teams will be
didn't occur
rising.
to me. I didn't put much. I didn't put much thought into it before I said it.
Half
there's
my
a lot
brain
of
was like,
jobs.
"Are you going undefeated with this? Do you want all teams undefeated? That can't."
No,
No.
I have a little.
Well,
more,
I mean-
I have more brain cells than that. But I think I think ideally, Utah sucks. Everyone does good, and we do the best. And I think that is my dream scenario for this year. And the Wave. The Wave also bottom of the table.
Crash. The waves crash.
Yeah, I think I would like the Wave and this is so bad. Someone's gonna find this and stitch it at the end of the season when the championship game is Utah and San Diego. But I want Utah and San Diego tied for the bottom. Everyone else. And then Angel City. And I think we can all agree that would be an incredibly enjoyable season of soccer for the entire league.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
You know what? As long as we don't get an EDM game this season,
No,
I think
I
we're
don't
gonna
want
be good.
that.
All right. I had planned to ask the interwebs about a prompt of who are you looking forward to, and then I completely forgot. So I did it really quick on Discord, and we got a few responses. All right. So Zach came in with us versus San Diego, which is going to be the first match, the highway rivalry. Also, in a weird way, Seattle and Portland for the last game, wanting to end the season with a final finish. Yeah, there's a little bit of I kind of like that Portland is our last game because Portland was our last game
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
5-1. 5-1. Bicycle kick.
So-
Bicycle kick.
Legendary.
If Portland
Yes.
was our last game every year, like that's just the way you end the season, and then like we switched it off like where we played, right? Like it was like a home 1 year, away 1 year. That'd be awesome. It'd be that would be a fun way to build up that rivalry. Right?
Yeah.
And also NWSL not going half-assed on a decision day and actually make it a decision day, not like a decision two-parter. So stupid. Okay, and then Jeff came in with he's looking forward to Seattle. Curry might be kind of a salty game and see if we can shut down their attack with Lynn. Also games against Kansas City and Orlando. They left bad tastes in my mouth. Want to see if they're better than last year against the top teams. Could be a good litmus test. Could be a good litmus test.
Yeah.
Yes,
And then
okay.
Richie also texted me back because I was like, send me something. He said, oh, this is a tough question. I feel like I've been more out of the loop during this off season and just started getting into it at Coachella because he was there this last weekend. Immediately pumped to see how ACFC reloaded the roster, buying all available Alana Kennedy stock, which I don't think there's much available given Eva's
Let's go.
Angel City purchases.
String
Yeah,
bean,
they go-
string bean, string bean, string bean.
He also said it's counterintuitive to root too much for our rivals, but I'm hopeful San Diego gets their shit together so we can have some firecracker games against them. Because I will say, June 17th is when MA scored at Snapdragon and literally shifted the whole season. That is a good litmus test of where we're going. He said, I'm super stoked to not have to see Landon Donovan on my screen this season. Yeah. Like Kobe Jones gets a statue and Landon disappears. We love it. We love it. And I don't care about the men, but I care about that. Have you met Kobe? He's so nice. So he also said, because Richie sits right in front of us. So he said, I'm excited for 227 shenanigans and to see if we have new neighbors. I was led to believe that we maybe have some new neighbors. We know some folks aren't returning. Like they're doing like smaller ticket packages or moving. So we're very curious who's moving where. Again, I'm here for the drama, just not my own. But yeah, that's what we got from the folks.
Then let's go with our round table here. And Eva, who are you looking forward to?
I'm really curious to see Houston. I think that they tend to sound really good on paper, and then it never quite comes to fruition. But I feel like the tide might turn for them. I'm excited to see all of the African nation players again, because they came in last year and just threw ice water on all of us. And we're like, oh, you thought you knew women's soccer? You thought you knew how good it could be? Guess what? It's even better. So I'm excited to see, that contingent of international players. Seattle, obviously. I think everyone's kind of got their eyes on them. But I think aside from them, I think Houston is who I'm most curious about. And then not necessarily soccer-wise, but I'm excited to see who does the first 3 clap this year. And I'm saying it now because in the event that I'm right, I want it documented. But I think Kelsey Plum is going to do it.
Oh, my God. I didn't think about that.
That was my whole agenda to be here tonight, just to say that I think Kelsey Plum is going to do the home opener 3 clap.
KP at an Angel City game, that entire stadium will just light on fire.
She'll wear a jacket where you see her sternum and everything.
A lot of chest.
She'll do the
and
3
a lot
clap.
of midriff.
It'll be so good.
She'll probably have rhythm.
She'll definitely have rhythm. We know she has rhythm.
We do know she has rhythm. Like the crossover between NWSL and the WNBA is my favorite thing that may have ever happened as a fan of women's sports. On the same is my answer as Eva. Like Seattle, I really want to see how exciting they're going to be. Really interested into where some of the players who have yet land, Justice for Kling and Sierra King, if they re-sign. And I'm going to be so pissed off. But I'm just curious how some of these teams, Eva said, Houston looks really great on paper and it hasn't come to fruition. But all of these teams look so good on paper. Who are the teams that are actually going to put it together? I have a good feeling we're going to be one of them. But I just want to know who else, because I too would like to run the table. I have requested the day off after opening day, which is St. Patty's Day. Do not make me regret it. I'm not going to be like drunk and like crazy at the game. I'm just going to be exhausted afterwards. And so like, please do me right. Like I want the best season. That's all. I'm just excited for sports, guys. It's summertime. Well, I hate the summer, but I love women's sports and I don't know why we have to play in the summer.
Because it's too damn cold in parts of the country.
That doesn't stop football.
Yeah, but they're also wearing
a lot
pads
of things that doesn't stop football. I don't know that that's
just kidding. I was just kidding, guys. I was just joking.
Concussions also.
I don't
stop
care.
Football. Like they're in their own way at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you, Maria.
I always now with not forcing it to be a rivalry, but I like the California idea of
Andreas Cup.
Yes. I wasn't gonna say it, but yes, the San Andreas Cup. TM, nobody steal it. But the idea that like, look, California is so big and we've got the teams here that kind of just proves, look, there's markets for everything, right? And there's ways that this that all of this can grow. And so thinking of how being able to bring up smaller markets and kind of bring them into the fold. Let's have a women's US Open Cup. Let's not make a stupid tournament for no reason. Let's have a tournament where we bring in all the other divisions of women's soccer and then have one kind of big cup. That would be an amazing thing. It would be an amazing way to get eyes on all these other markets, all these other smaller teams. Yeah, I mean, there's things that I would like to see in the league. And then beyond that, I think Portland has always just been a really fun match for different reasons whenever we do play them. But I feel like Portland has always been an exciting match regardless of the outcome. It's always been an exciting one. We've talked about you can have an exciting game where you lose. You can have an exciting game where it was tied 0-0, 1-1, but it was the most thrilling match ever. And I feel like we have that a lot with Portland. So I'm always excited for that matchup. You know, we'll see how it all goes down.
I think Portland too is like the rivalry that kind of just happened, but a lot of it is because so many folks in LA and in California, that was the closest team for a very long time, or like the easiest team to get to. So it was like, okay, that's my team. And now it's okay, well, you're kind of my team, but not really, but I want my team to win. You know?
Yeah.
Now I have my allegiances are elsewhere, but you were my first love, and I still want you to do all, but not against my team. And I think with Portland, it's one of those, and it happened. This is when I love how rivalries happen naturally. The back heel that Bella Bixby did is the reason why we won 5-1, because that pissed every single player, specifically Sid LaRue, off. It pissed everyone off. It pissed every fan off. It was just like, how dare you come here? You know, like, everyone was mad.
It wasn't even here. It was up there. But
no,
still.
It was up there. Yeah, like, how dare you come all the way across the pitch and do this? There were words, like, it was that kind of thing. And then to have the last match of that game be so, we needed to win so badly, and then we won in a way we have not won again since. Like, so assertive, so dominant, and so aggressively scary. Because Sid's bicycle kick from that game it's so legendary, but it was also so vengeful. Oh, you thought.
That's kind of every goal that Sid scores.
That's fair. That's fair. That's just Sid, and I love it.
It's the best.
It's that kind of thing. Every game is so aggressive. Every game is so full of tension, and it's so intense. And it's not all games happen like that, and it happened so naturally. It was the back heel. It was the 5-1, and now it's, do you want to fight? What are you doing tomorrow? You want to fight? Okay, kind of thing. And it's just it's like a unintentional rivalry that, like, when we play Portland, hurt people's feelings. Let's go. Make somebody cry. That's fine. It's not my team. My team is the one making somebody cry. That's all.
All right. Well, with that was our NWSL preview. Whichever one you heard right now was either East or West, but it was all good. And you know what? We're excited for the season. And if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening. Check out casualfc.com for all the pod links. We're also on YouTube. We're also on video on Spotify. So check us out on all of those places. Leave a comment, do all the things that you're supposed to do and the buttons you click. So do that. Follow us on socials. We're Casual FC Pod on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. We're also casualfc.com on BLUESKY. Come join our Discord. Also, we have really lots of fun, and like, you would have been able to give us your rivalry or your matchup ideas while we recorded this, because we did it super last minute and it went up to the Discord. Best ways to support the pod: share, like, comment on a post. Engagement, it's all we really ask for. That's the best thing you can do for us. Grab some merch if you would like some at shop.casualfc.com. We have some fun stuff coming up soon, and if you feel so inclined, help support the pod by buying us a coffee. Check out the link on our socials or go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod. And the best thing you can also do is tell a friend about the pod. The more people that are listening, the more people get to learn and share the love, get some footy therapy, and it brings us good luck, which we bank and send to the team. And we had a little bit left over, so we sent it to Coachella. Hopefully we can get a little bit more and send it to Coachella again. All right.
Yeah.
With that, have a great one. We'll see you on the next episode, and less than 30 days till the season starts.
Woo!
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.